Good morning everyone, welcome to week 7 before the Christmas term, and today we're going to start off with some maths. So first of all, the Grinch asked Cindy Lou to pass him the wrapping paper with the triangles on. Which wrapping paper will she pass him? Number 1, number 2 or number 3? Okay, it was number 3, well done if you spotted that, good job. What shape is a roll of wrapping paper then? So we've already identified the triangles, but what shape is a roll of wrapping paper? Remember, if you can pick it up, what sort of shape is it? So it's a cylinder, isn't it? It's a 3D shape because you can pick it up, you can hold it. That means it's a cylinder. Well done if you got that. Okay, so last week we learnt about properties of 2D shapes, and you recorded them on a table, which I've seen a lot of your maths work from last week, and it was really great to see what you'd been up to, and I saw a lot of your 2D shape property tables, so well done for them, really good job. So today then we are going to do the same thing but for 3D shapes. So as we discussed last week, the properties of 2D shapes and 3D shapes are different. Can anyone remember the properties of a 2D shape? Pause the video, see if you can remember what they are. So the properties of a 2D shape, we said lines of symmetry, angles, sides and corners. So the lines of symmetry were where we were folding our pieces of paper in half, weren't we, to see the shape split equally in half. The angles were the bit of the spaces inside the corners. The corners were obviously the pointy bits, and the sides, and we said you could have straight sides or curved sides like on a circle. So does anyone know what the properties of 3D shapes are called then? Pause the video, see if you can have a go. So the properties of 3D shapes, we look at edges, faces and vertices. Can you have a go at saying vertices? That's a tricky one. Okay, so let's have a look at this cube. The faces are the surfaces on each side of the shape. In this case, each face is flat. So I've got my cube tissue box here to show you. So the faces are the flat bits here. They're not always flat because on spheres they're curved, but on a cube they are all flat. The edges of the shape are where the faces meet. So we've got one here, all around each edge, and then down the sides here, and of course along the bottom as well. So the edges are where the two faces come together. And finally, the vertices are the pointy corners where all of the edges and the faces meet. So we've got one here, one here, one here, and one here. So they're the pointy bits. So can you have a go then at describing the cube that we have, using the properties that we have just discussed, that I've just told you about? If you don't have a cube at home, there's a picture of one on the screen. If you would like to go and get your cube that you used last week when we looked at shapes in everyday objects, feel free to do that if you're allowed, of course. If not, I've got my tissue box here if that's any use. I'll leave that up so you can pause the video and have a look at it. Okay, obviously on the PowerPoint my shape is a 2D shape, it's flat because you can't pick it up, which is why this is extra tricky. So if you have got shapes at home that you want to use today, that you collected last week and you're able to, then going to get them might help you later on. Sorry, I probably should have said that at the beginning. Okay, so the cube has 8 vertices, so it's got 8 corners. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well done if you said that. It's also got 6 faces. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. And finally, the cube has 12 edges. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 1 here, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So well done if you got all of those properties. Good job. Right, I'm going to say, and then I'd like you to say this after me. So a 3D shape is a solid or fat shape. The properties of a 3D shape are its faces, its edges, and its vertices. your turn. Well done. Okay, just like we discussed with 2D shapes, the edges on 3D shapes can be straight or curved. You can also have straight or flat or curved faces as well as edges on 3D shapes. So have a look at this cone. I've made a makeshift cone because I couldn't find one in an everyday object that I've got in my house. If you have got one, however, feel free to go and get it. If not, you've got the picture on the screen, or I'm holding up mine if that's any use to you at the moment. Can you have a go at describing this cone using its properties that I just told you about, that we just talked about? So pause the video and have a go. Okay, so the cone has got one vertice because it's got one point, one corner at the very top. It's got two faces, so on your screen, on the PowerPoint, it looks like, because it's flat, it looks like a triangle, but actually it's got a curved face all the way around the edge and a flat shape across the bottom. And finally, it has got one curved edge, so the curved edge is where the two faces meet around the bottom, and yeah, it is curved, unlike on the cube, when it was straight. Okay, so your challenge today then is to complete the rest of the shapes on this table. We haven't got any shapes in the classroom, obviously. Well, we have, but we're not at school. So if you've got shapes around your house, like we collected last week, that you'd like to grab to help you, then that's great. If you haven't got them, there are small pictures on the screen that you can use, or you can, if you've got access to and you're able to sort of Google pictures of cubes and cuboids, etc., that would be great. If not, just use the resources that you have at home, and of course if you don't have anything or you're unable to do any of the shapes, then that's okay, just do the shapes that you can. So count the number of faces on the shape and record them onto the table. Repeat that for the edges and the vertices, and as a challenge I'd like you to also record if the faces and the edges are curved or flat or straight, obviously if it's an edge. Okay, well done today. I will hopefully see you soon. Take care, stay safe, see you later, bye.